On the way up, on the way back, I went to that. On the way up, I did the last like 4 hours. I did from like Santa Barbara to Santa Cruz because he was retiring. So we just had the air on it and we got to the end and we both were freezing. We took water doing it up. And we went, she was both like crazy.
We once flew into, I guess we flew into San Francisco and went all the way up to, what, Reading or something?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if we went all the way up the coast of San Francisco. I think we came back in and into Nashville or something. Well, by the time you get to the airport early and all that stuff, I mean, obviously not the final, but for the rest of the other part of the final. I mean, there were people in it. It was
So by the time it was time for the council campaign, people got so backed up. I guess the campaign was backed up to the freeway, so they had to close the exit. And
musicians couldn't get in.
Musicians couldn't get in.
Some, a meaningful number of them were very late. So they started the concert about 20, 30 minutes.
35, before they really got started yet. And there wasn't parking and there wasn't enough food and the line, food there was not inside of the outside.
And they did a terrible job in terms of choosing out of the 6 roads and stuff. It was an absolute terrible.
They told people that they should take the shuttle from the train station and it would run every 20 minutes. Well, they only apparently had one shuttle for like 20 or 25 people. And there were hundreds of people trying to take the shuttle to put us. And so one day they coming in, they're getting out, and then they had to know, once things got crazy, they didn't have anything blocked up and closed and things like that. So the shuttle was going every day. So apparently people were stuck in the graveyard until 12:30, 1 o'clock waiting for the shuttle.
They turned the lights out.
They turned the lights out. Now we got stuck, we sort of took a choice, and we were in the parking lot, and we took a choice that didn't move for, I don't know, probably 30, 40 minutes.
When we were there last year, I don't know if you remember the parking, but we went, I guess it's basically northeast out of the lot. Remember they had that road so nobody could get in. So we tried to avoid that.
They don't have a stop sign.
We tried to go up to the road at the top and get across there, but we had got outfashes to watch the fireworks. We got the car fast enough, but we tried to get up there, and there was such a throng of people, we couldn't do it. So, well, we're early enough, we'll go this other way. Went the other way, got there, literally in like 35 minutes, we moved like 3 car lengths.
So finally,
And we finally gave up and went somewhere else, and finally got back.
ultimately they ended up making their own way out of the both.
Well, they might have done that earlier too. But that's how we ultimately got out. Nothing was happening prior to us. But no, it wasn't. And so finally we could see stuff behind us that it looked like there was really something going on. Not a lot, it looked like a little something going on. And so there was finally an opportunity where I could sneak out and go back the wrong way. You went back the other way, the part of the parking lot next to the venue was largely empty. So somehow all the people from that end were getting out, partly by Marine Way, which makes me believe they might have had it open. Because if that hadn't been open totally, well, it wasn't just that lot. Remember, all the people were coming from up above, all the way down along the river. But it turned out that the park next to the venue, or the lot next to the venue, had largely cleared. So we went up and tried again to get on that other road. And oh, okay, we'll get in front of those people. We were just sitting out. And this doesn't look right. Wait a minute, this whole lot over there is totally gone. So we turned around and went the other way. And then we got on the Marine Way, and then it went pretty well.
Although you had to go all the way. Well, even when we wanted to go in, we got in,
We were almost at the parking lot.
but then they made you go the other direction, away from the venue.
We were on Ridge Valley, which runs right between the ice arena and the parking lot. And we were almost to the parking lot, and they had Ridge Valley blocked.
If you had your house there.
And so they were trying to force you then to go all the way around the top of the park. And I guess they wanted to park up there. But I was uncooperative, so I turned around and went the other way, and actually went back out on San Canyon. And then we wound up going down to Canyon. And we got in, and because there had been so many people there yesterday, a lot of people that were leaving were actually starting to leave. And so we actually wound up getting them pretty good. But we didn't do it. Right.
Yeah, and they told everybody this was a big fireworks, and sort of the fireworks.
Well, and the county, there were lots of people there.
And they had, some bands.
It was impressive, I mean, we went 5:30. Partly because I was kind of concerned about, well, partly just to see what I could find. What those people have. And they had only like 2 or 3 food booths, and food booth lines were huge. And they ran out of food, so people had to put stuff on their floor, and there were people who had stood in line for 45 minutes or more, and still had another third of the line or a quarter of the line to go, and they ran out of food. They just didn't have enough. I hesitate to even guess, but I mean, there was tens of thousands, whether it's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. And it was everywhere. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if they could get it right, it'd be good, but that, and unfortunately, the way the bridge is not good in and out to it.
Well, they've got some streets that are not finished yet, is part of the problem. But with better traffic, man, they can do a lot better. And like in that parking lot, nobody had a clue, because wherever you went, there were cars going in both directions, trying to figure out how to get out. And, that shouldn't be the case. You should be funneled in a given direction. Everybody on this side of the lot, you're gonna go that way. Everybody on this side, you're gonna go that way. Now we never got close enough to the other side to see what was going on. But it's not clear to me there's anything.
There was just a major thing, I guess, everyone moved to the comments and stuff, I guess they just had no idea how many people would come and what they would be. I guess
Well, it's the first time they've done it,
they
so-
basically wouldn't let people in. And
Right.
that's the point that got one people.
And lots of people showed up and gave up, said no. Apparently, they wound up closing the entrance and exits for 5. And apparently, the 5 itself was substantially backed up in both directions. Except for people trying to get off. Now, I don't know that the freeway itself died, but apparently there were substantial lines on the freeway that couldn't get off.
So then the symphony, of course, was not in. So we actually got an email today that we're going to get free tickets, a voucher to go to another one of the summer.
Actually, we're gonna get 2 sets of 2 vouchers for 2 more things, but the symphony apologized.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm sure that's a bit more like outreach one for them to establish like.
So apparently we get 2 vouchers for some other Summerfest thing, though they said they'll come in the mail in a few weeks. I think they might already over by
And
now.
then something for the normal, whatever the normal kind of
Pops,
thing is. or
classical,
Pops,
something,
or the
whatever.
family one, one or the other or something. So yeah, we need to go to 2 more shows. So if you want, you can come out.
Did you guys go on the tables?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there were some strangers at our table.
Yeah. We just didn't have to like say.
Yeah. The drum show was so-so, I mean, they did a drum thing.
The drums are cool.
They're cool, but I didn't think it was a wonderful show. But they were
I'm not sure what you do that's wonderful. They keep moving. It looked like there was about 100 drums that were being orchestrated.
Yeah.
I don't know how many they can do. That software is out of the crap.
So it was an interesting experience. As we sat there.
And the fireworks relative to the show were not as good because they moved because they were doing it so hard. So they had moved enough. Probably on the other side of the building, someplace, maybe on the other side. They weren't perfect fireworks. They weren't as close as they were last year. Now the drums on the other hand were right next to, they were right behind those buildings along the side. Just above the trees right there, they gave it over came back. they stayed pretty much in one place.
Yeah, they do live there.
I mean, they did some 3D stuff, but it was still all there.
Yeah.
No, there's just, again, you kind of go, well, they're going to do something different.
But it'll be a big deal.
Yeah, they will.
It's
Or
gonna be.
rather, they need to turn it into either a ticketed event, or they need to prepay for parking or something, so they get an idea of.
Well, in the 70s, obviously going to be upset.
Yeah, they're going to have words clearly about it.
I mean, what they should have been doing for the symphony, it's always easy to connect, obviously, but they should say, okay, this parking lot is for the symphony, if you don't get in, you got to use it. Or something like that. I thought they would learn.
Yeah, tens of thousands of people more this time. Yeah.
Well, especially because literary park is always changing, and that like people also don't have things or whatever, so then they just kind of do whatever Google's telling them to do.
Google isn't quite sure, because,
Well, Google doesn't know what roads are.
Yeah.
I mean, it can collect data as it's happening and maybe decide.
Even then, though, sometimes there's weird things with, like, because it doesn't seem to traffic running the other way, I think that's a clear line of traffic, you know?
it's 5 to one of those things where really.
I don't think I've ever sat without losing a team, pretty much literally. And the only reason we moved to a department was because people in front of us bailed out when it's not.
Yeah,
It wasn't because the line moved, it was that, the car, 4 cars up, and said, I quit.
Yeah, one to the left and the
Went
right.
somewhere else and
and
said.
turn the other way. Maybe over here, big enough for the road, or something has to be different. You really have to figure out a way to use shovels, and you really have to figure out.
Well, yeah, I guess it's true on the mall in Washington and stuff like that, too. I guess there's not a lot of stuff going on. I mean, for again, by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever it was, there's very little stuff going on. I guess there'd been, some things for kids and stuff during the day, and bubble this and stuff. So we're but it was almost like at the Washington Mall, they have those things. You see the videos and stuff. I mean, it was almost like that. There were people sitting everywhere.
Every grass and
everywhere.
Yeah, they had some blankets and they had food, and some people brought some, they were hanging out, yeah. Some of the kids were playing on the playground.
Throwing football, taking soccer ball, just nothing really. It's just a family hangout, which is cool. I approve. It's just impressive. People clearly wanted to go.
Yeah. So it was great.
It was
One
hard
of the reasons was good advertising.
Yeah, and the people wanted to do it.
So if this is what you do,
Identify a real community need.
it can come a true, it can become a real event, like working.
They have to convince people. We fixed it.
When we went to the Lake Forest in one day, days ago, like, it was there too, like, unfortunately, there's just a little better infrastructure there, but not. Like, with this, like, honestly, with the Saddleback lots is really what's saving, because obviously, like, it's worth more than the capacity, but Saddleback is huge, and there's easy, like, crosswalks and stuff and all that, and so, like, it worked out okay, but even with that, there were tons of people there, and then after like 4 or 6 months, I was just like, everyone's like, oh, no, it's not a game, so
There were people at the concert near us from my plant park and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people come to the house, I mean, they were there, and I was just trying to, overcrowd too, I mean, for handicaps and stuff, apparently, this is a disaster, there's no way to get to the parking. Parking was a bazillion miles away.
I think they may have something at football stadium or something. Irvine used to have a community thing at Irvine High School.
Yeah, they stopped doing that, fireworks, that time, never restored. But we're still did their game, so. That's a lot
Well, that's
smaller.
little.
A little thing, but at least you get in and out.
I mean, they're right next to the fireworks.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been up to the plus, and you're in and out, and as far as the traffic part.
If you have a worker, easily.
Right. The time is next door. Quite
I
hilarious.
never looked at Facebook. You look?
I did, next door to Facebook, so it was a little bit. Again, I thought people waiting for the show, and at some point, maybe the show was not, I mean, apparently people were trying to take over, that nothing could come in and out, I mean,
yeah,
it
so
was,
the Uber doesn't help you.
you had to get out before you could.
One of those folks was talking about, I don't know if it was a shoveler or a hoover, whatever it was. They came out, they couldn't get on, they couldn't get under the freeway to go over and turn on whatever, turn on center or whatever. So they wound up actually getting on the freeway going north. They couldn't get on the freeway going south. So they got on the freeway going north, went to Jericho, did a U, came all the way back up to Boston, took Boston to get over to the train station. When they said they were gonna run a shuttle from the train station, I thought that maybe they were gonna run the side of the way because there's a pedestrian bridge over the tracks.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought maybe you know, they just expect you to walk across the pedestrian bridge and they pick you up on that side. And that, you know, maybe they'd have them clear shot or something.
Yeah.
Cause you can walk, what that does, you can walk way down. Well, no, I don't think it was that bad. But it was, I don't know if it was even 2 miles, it's not a terribly long walk. But, you know, everybody's lazy, so it wasn't, you know.
Everybody did its own best.
So you can actually get across there to the Marine Way.
That's just strange in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's a 30-minute walk. So it was 1.4 miles.
And that's just
to the train shed. If you went across to the other side of the track. Yeah, I guess these people must not have understood that. Or maybe they got fences or something. You can't. I know there's a pedestrian overpass because there's a platform on the other side of the track. You can't know whether you're going north or south.
Yeah, I don't know what they did.
I mean, Nick and maybe Zach both have taken the train a couple of times where they went across that pedestrian overpass. Now, I think some of these also supposed to go through across the tracks down there by City of Hope.
No, they're building
I
something.
don't know when they're gonna build that. No, they're not working on the overpass.
No, not the overpass. They're gonna park and sell that day.
Well, that's what we
They call me anyway, so they said at some point it's gonna pass.
he got way across the tracks.
Yes, that's always important.
We would have known bigger, quicker if we was in the wall.
We would have, yeah.
Misbehaved and started shooting sideways and shot something toward the house. The little girl, I guess, was standing in front of the house or something. They shot something toward the house and lit off some other near where she was. And killed her. And then there was an industrial building that went up, I think that Thursday. One or two people were killed in that.
The industrial building, 7 people died. 7, I think.
Oh, that many? I didn't realize.
They're kind of like how many people there now. And then then there was a fire in some local place. They had all the fireworks and the house got set up on fire. And I think someone died in that too.
Oh, that's one I was thinking about.
Oh, only one or two.
But, and caught like 5 other structures on fire around the house.
It's the craziness of it. They were doing something at the golf clubhouse. They were having some music and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure that was completely full. Yeah, there were people there, there's not a lot of like other distributions for food, but you know, people, well, they did the golf cart parade. The golf cart. They souped up and stuff. Well, I wanted a hot dog. So we had one of these, where Virginia. Well, sometimes
Position next.
it works out, yeah. No, I don't know. Let me see if any kids want heavens or Amazon list heavens to show up, but I don't have anything particular.
it says that maybe it's in a bonus, but I'm not sure that's right. I'm not sure either, honestly, I'm not saying
No, I think quite a few of them are, the travel calls and stuff that I don't know.
that's not the right place to follow. He reached over his shoulder and hit it, so it came off. The idea is to not get fined.
Yes, keep running the ball around and the clock out. And they were out there to play.